my guy, Man. How you feeling tonight, man?
Good, man, good. Just working the fights, that's all.
How did it feel to do the whole commentating thing, man?
It's not my first time, but it was cool. You know, I saw an email the other day. They asked me to come down. I told them I'd do it, so it was cool.
You see yourself kind of trained, maybe not now, but eventually doing it like full time though?
Oh man, I would love it, man. A trainer, hard job, man. I would love it.
Would love to get your thoughts, man. You were one of those guys that were just like, yo, I can't predict Spence versus Crawford. It's so 50-50. And then like outside of that first round, it was just all Crawford, man.
I mean, you talked about the fight in Philly.
Yes.
You know, I don't forget nothing. We talked about the fight in Philly.
We did.
Who did you pick? Come on.
I think I took Crawford. I took Crawford because it was his mother's birthday on that Saturday, so I didn't think it was
in Philly. You didn't have Crawford.
I might have took Spence, but then I realized it was his mother's birthday. Okay. But yeah, like how surprised were you that it was just so one-sided, man?
One thing I said about the fight that I always felt that Crawford was the puncher. It's not just the power, it's the ability to land certain punches. So I kind of felt that there was to be a decision, Earl would outwork him, and there would be a stoppage, and Terence would catch him with a big shot. I wasn't expecting to see a perfect fight though. That was a perfect fight. That was like on the same level as Bernard Hopkins and Felix Trinidad 22 years ago. That's how good of a performance that was. There's nothing you can say, man. He was at his best when everybody was looking. He was at his best when his best was needed. It was just a remarkable performance, man. And you know, for all of the young people that haven't got a chance to witness those kind of performances in their lifetime, I've got a chance to see enough of them. But that was a perfect fight. You don't get, it can be fights as good as that, but rarely you're gonna see a fight better than that.
You know, kind of hate bringing it up, but I feel like I have to always bring it up. Hate trying to take anything away from Crawford because I'm not, but did Spence look just like something was just off, or was just Crawford just like 10 times better than him, man?
You know what? If Earl's not going to give himself an excuse, I'm not going to give him one. I want to get into that because when he's a big guy, right? And when he walk guys down and beat them up, everybody talk about his physicality, his power, his strength, and all of those things. So now the same thing, sometimes that make you great also come back to bite you. So now, you know, nobody ever talked about him having any weight troubles until he fought Terence Crawford. And I'm not saying he did or he didn't, I don't know. I'm not his trainer, I don't work in his camp. But it's not fair to Terence if we talk about the weight troubles now, because when he fought Ugas, he didn't have weight troubles. When he fought Danny Garcia, it was no, you know what I mean? So you can't really get into that. And Earl is being honorable. He's not making no excuses for himself. So let's just give Terence his props. You know, that's all I can say right now. I don't really know. Obviously, he fought at 152 in the amateurs. He's a big guy. Obviously, you know, it's not easy to make weight, but we got enough science these days to kind of get you back. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff you can do to make you feel better. And these guys have over 24 hours to rehydrate. So, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Would love to get your thoughts on Boots Ennis. You've watched Boots probably more than anybody, especially like behind the scenes, so you know how great he is. Is Boots at the point where it's just like, yeah, he's ready for Crawford, or are you just like, the Crawford that I just saw, let's give Boots like another fight or two?
You know what? Being ready doesn't always mean that you're going to win. It does, but it do mean that you're ready for your opportunity. I think Boots deserves his opportunity. Somebody had to give Crawford opportunity. Somebody had to give Earl opportunity. I think he deserves the opportunity. Now, whether he gets one with one of those guys, I don't know. Because usually guys fight guys around their same age genre. They don't usually fight guys that much younger than them. You rarely see that, especially a guy that talented. But this notion that he's not ready is ridiculous. He's ready, he's 26. You know, Crawford and Earl was about 26, 27 when they got their title shot. And Boots have way more fights than they had when they got their title shot. So of course he's ready. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he can beat Terence. What Terence just did the other night was just remarkable. But I think Boots deserves and has earned his title shot. Whether it be with any of those guys or anybody else, but he deserves his shot.
Is that a 50-50 fight, or do you have to lean a little bit towards Crawford?
Terence and Boots?
Yeah.
That's 50-50, man. Just because that happened to Earl, that don't mean that can happen to Boots. And if for a specialist Terence was, you don't know if he's gonna be that remarkable again. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that was just like, he was in the zone, man. You know what I mean? You follow basketball?
Of course.
It's like asking Jordan to get 70 back-to-back games, you know, against Golden State of 2000. You know what I mean? It's just that's a monster performance, man. And the guys that we do see fight perfect fights, you don't see them fight them back-to-back like that. You know what I mean? That was a great performance. And I've seen some performances in my lifetime that was every bit as good as Duran versus Leonard 1, Leonard versus Duran 2. Both of them took turns on each other fighting perfect fights. Wilfredo Gomez, Salvador Sanchez, when he beat Wilfredo Gomez, that was a perfect fight. Floyd Mayweather versus Diego Corrales, perfect fight.
Would you consider what Inoue did to Fulton a perfect fight?
I hate to say it, but yeah, that's a kid that I watched come up in my gym. That was a perfect fight. You know, did I say Floyd and Corrales?
I don't think you did, Jeff.
Barrera versus Hamed. Barrera versus Hamed was a perfect fight. Buddy McGirt versus Simon Brown. We had a perfect fight not too long ago with Usyk over Gassiev. And Crawford Spence was right there. It's crazy that we got that within 5 days of each other with Inoue and Fulton. That was a perfect fight, perfectly executed. So it's hard to do that back to back, man. Boots is a talented kid, and he's 10 years younger. If Terence don't fight him, he's more than earned his right to pick who he wants to fight at this point. You know, the guy waited till he was 35 to get his first big pay-per-view fight. So he's definitely earned it and to pick and choose. So I'm not saying he's ducking Boots, because I don't believe Terence Crawford is scared of anybody. But Boots does deserve a shot at the title versus whoever it may be, whatever they decide to do with the belt. His shot is overdue.
Would you favor Boots over Spence right now? Whether it's at 47, 54, would you favor Boots?
You know, I want to be fair to Earl. Let's see how he heals up. That was a tough beating. You know what I mean? And I just want to be fair with the guy. You know what I mean? I like Earl a lot, and a lot of people kicking him while he's down. And it's hard for me to assess how he's going to look in the next fight after taking such a bad beating. You know what I mean? He got knocked down a few times. Obviously, it's been reported that there's been some issues. I don't want to perpetuate any rumors, but let me just see how he looks in his next couple of fights, because who knows how he's going to look when he comes back. You know what I mean? He took some tough shots, man. He got knocked down, his equilibrium got knocked off. So let's see how he comes back before we, you know, can assess that.